project. And next I'm going to show you how to figure out grades. It was one of my PODs. And
can I figure out what?
Grades. Like if you get a 15 out of 20, like how to like see if that's a B or a C or something like that. And so what I'm going to show you is if you get 15 out of 20, so like say you get a 15 out of 20, what you have to do is you have to divide, you have to divide that, you have to divide 15, or divide 20 by 15, and you can't divide 20 by 15, so you put a dot, 0, 0, and then you bring up the decimal and put it right there, because the decimal right there, and then you can basically like erase that, not pay any attention to that. But anyways, 20 goes into 0 times 20 goes into 15, 0 times 20 goes into 150, 7 times, and so put a 7 right there. 7 times 20 equals 140, minus equals 10, and then 20 goes into 10 0 times, so you make that 100, and then 20 goes into 100 5 times. 5 times 20 equals 100, minus equals 0, so 75 is your answer. And usually you can tell like what a 75 or an 80 or anything is, and 75 is equal to a C. And so if you got a 15 out of 20 on your test, you got a C on your test.
Very good.
And now, this is my goals and weakness paper that I wrote, and I got 2 checks, which is good. And it says about my goals and my weaknesses. And my goal in math and science was to come up with a regular way to study that won't confuse me on tests, so that like I'll be able to like separate all the questions. Mm-hmm. And then I thought of 2 answers. And then my weakness in math and science was in math and science was learning topics that are like previous things I knew, because once in 5th grade in math, I accidentally got the concept mixed up with both of them, and I got an F on the tests. So I'm going to try to like not have all of my like tests mixed up, and make sure that I'm on the right test with the right track. And that was basically my humanities and science SLC, humanities and math and science SLCs. And we haven't gotten into much science this year, but we should be getting into it more at the new school. And now we can take questions.
Okay. It was very, very good. Okay, my first question is, isn't there somewhere in the whole speech where you're supposed to say, I'd like to thank my parents?
Well, I did, because I said that I like staying at school better than at home.
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to say, and I owe all this greatness that I've achieved to my parents. I'm pretty sure that's
okay. I'll tell Dad that.
Canned speech. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Next time, remember that one. Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
What about the Fermi person?
The Fermi person. Oh yes. Who is or what is?
He
Fermi?
was a man named Fermi, which is an odd name, but like Shaylin. But you know, if it's okay, never mind. But he basically invented the concept of like taking hard things and making them like easier to figure out. Like nobody instead of figuring out how many ants are in a mile, like you could find because then you'd have to line up ants, perfectly, which is like impossible.
Right.
And instead of doing that, you break it down into steps to where like an ant is like a half of a centimeter long.
Okay,
and then
so
it goes
Fermi did that.
Yes, Fermi did that.
Was he also a chemist or something like that?
I think he was like a physiologist or something like that. I'm not
For
sure
some
yet.
reason he sounds familiar, but
An Italian dude.
an Italian. Okay, very good.
Awesome.
That was
great,
really
Shannon.
informative. It's very informative.
And now, before you leave, now you guys can come up with a goal
Yes.
that you guys want to come up with for the rest of the year. And it doesn't have to be an academic goal. It can just be
Okay.
an all-around school goal.
Oh, okay, so we have to work on a goal. Well, I would be curious to know, she's not all that interested in reading.
Uh-huh.
Very bright, but just not all that interested in reading. So I think being able to experiment with maybe different topics and books and things like that might be something worthwhile trying. I don't know what
Okay.
you've done in the past to motivate people towards reading, but that would be a goal that I'd like to set, but it has to be a goal that you'd want to set too. So would you be interested in trying different genres of books or different things to read or try to?
Sure. Try different books.
From what I can tell, that's I think only her only weakness.
Find
No, she's a great writer. I love reading.
Oh, she's a great writer. Okay,
Yeah, she
good,
really is.
good.
books I like.
Yes,
And also
yes.
something I forgot to mention was that my writing and reading are like completely different. I might have mentioned it. Okay, but in my writing, I love to come up with like weird, like mystical creatures in a forest because I can understand that because I'm the one writing it.
Right.
But I can't read that
Right.
stuff because I'm not the one writing it. And
Right.
so that's one of my
I
problems too.
perfectly understand that. And I know that she's got the gift of being able to articulate her thoughts very well.
Yes, indeed.
Very gifted that way, and I just want to make sure you also think she's a good listener. So you think you're listening as much as you are talking?
Huh? I'm listening.
You are?
Goodness.
Good
Actually,
listener.
no. You know what, Shaylin, for me, is she's my safety valve, especially with a certain group of girls that she likes to spend a little bit of time with. She definitely, I don't necessarily think she leads by telling them what to do, but I think she does a great job of leading by example.
Good.
Because she will not hesitate to come over and say, Mr. Hubbs, can I go sit on the couch? Can I move away from this because I can't get my work done? Can I sit outside if I have to sometimes? So she will take herself out of those situations.
Oh, that's good.
And, and she's a bit chatty, but everyone's a bit chatty. But like, when it comes down to it, she still gets her work done. And she does it well. So at this point, I don't see it as being a problem. So if she can maintain this for the rest of the year, that'd be great. So for me, that would be my goal for Shaylin, is that she's set the standard. She set her bar pretty high in these first few weeks of school. So I'd like her to keep raising that bar and maintaining. She might have a little slip here and there, but for the most part, now, I'm expecting great things out of her. So.
Right, so that's right. We got to keep
So,
raising that bar.
exactly,
Remember how we've
exactly.
talked about how you could just turn in a piece of paper, but then you could turn in a piece of paper with an illustration and a cover and da. But that
Laminating machine.
and a laminating machine. I love my laminating machine.
The other thing too is that's really nice. I have her for all the tech stuff. So when we get her for all the tech stuff, it's really cool to not have a bunch of passive kids. And there's an energy with the group of kids that she works with that when you go to start something, I mean, it's like, well, who's going to go? And then this one over here, and then it's like this domino theory of, well, I want to share, I want to share, I want to share. And it's so cool at this age that that there's just the energy of just like wanting to give all this stuff up and going out and like even speaking in public for the first time and presenting. It's so cool to teach in that environment. And she's one of the ringleaders when it comes to like making sure that everybody gets to see what's going on.
Oh, good.
So, you see the energy?
Right, yeah. And I had always talked about Chillin about that, always trying to raise the level. You can have people in the class that will be complacent and not.
No, she's not that
But
person.
you always want to try to raise the level, and that's everybody benefits when you have people who can raise the level. So hopefully she can do that, and I know she loves school. She's having so much
Here
fun.
is
She
all
loves high
of my
tech
stuff
middle.
because I think I have to turn this
All I
into.
need is the SLC stuff, the peanuts, and the project stuff. You can take that home because I've already graded that.
Okay, so
So all